Green tea is delicious, but I guess I'd better get back to dragon slaying before... Huh? What is that? Is that some sort of new power-up? I've never seen anything like it before. Well, I've already beaten the final boss 5 times, grinded to max out my level with every subclass, even maxed out my reputations with each village. But maybe there is something left for me to do after all. So, do I just touch it? What the heck? What's happened to me? Why do I feel so... This can't be. Let me just check my character sheet. Oh no. It's worse than I thought. Those hours grinding goblins in the forest. For naught. And with my stats drained, I'm not even going to be able to cast the portal magic I need to get back. So be it. The gloves are coming off. The heck? A new quest begins. First, I'm going to have to start by reclaiming the former shell of my once glorious bod. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the goal of this video is going to be to lose exactly 10 pounds in 1 month. And I think that we can do it with a little bit of help from Meticulous. Meticulous is a gamified personal health companion that will help you automate your diet and fitness planning. It's available on Steam. You can check out the link in the description of this video. I'm going to be keeping track of my weight on a daily basis using this app right there. They're not a sponsor. You can use any app in the world you want to use, or you could even just use a piece of paper and a pencil, and that would work just fine. The important thing to note is that what matters here are the trends. Don't worry about any given day. What we need to worry about is losing 10 pounds in a month, or 2.5? That's not right. Or 2.5 pounds every week, which admittedly is a little bit accelerated to the recommended pace of losing 1 to 2 pounds per week, but that also depends on your starting weight. Pro tip, always weigh yourself at approximately the same time of day, wearing approximately the same type of clothing, using the same scale. You can see here my starting weight is 194.6 pounds. Along the way, I'm going to be showing you some of the foods that I'm going to be eating, what are the macros and the muscles that I'm going to be tracking in Meticulous, and ultimately, how am I going to achieve this goal of losing 10 pounds in 1 month's time. So we're going to start out planning our diet for the week by constructing a backbone. And in this case, for week 1, we're going to be looking at breakfast right here, cereal. We get our protein, there's protein in this too, right? Yeah, with a relatively low calorie count of 160 of the milk, 260 in the cereal, and we can have this every day, no problem. Then, for lunch, we're going with these pre-done chopped kits. They're under 500 calories per kit, and at my grocery store, they have all different kinds of flavors so that even though you're eating a salad, it's not gonna be the same salad, it's not gonna be the same flavor profile, it's not gonna be the same toppings. It's pre-done, it's pre-measured, and we are set for lunch. And then I have stay. And then I do have a dirty little secret to admit. I have an ice cream truck man. He comes by every weekend. He's a nice guy. Think right now in your head, when's the last time you've even seen an ice cream truck, right? Like, I gotta support local businesses. As an entrepreneur myself, it's what you do. So, So I try to support the guy when I can, and now I got myself a little stockpile of sweets in my freezer. That's the structure for this week, but we do have one major obstacle to overcome, and that is Thanksgiving. But one of the great things about Meticulous is that we can take care of these special holiday occasions. If you go eat out, it's all fine. We can do the best that we can to estimate the amounts of what I'm going to be eating and put that into Meticulous accordingly. Fine, I'll pick up the salad, see what I can. We're gonna see how it goes, and when we get to the end of the week, I'll review everything that I put together, and we'll see how we're doing on the scale. We're going to start by heading over to the macros terminal and adding calories as our single macro of consideration. We're going to set ourselves a goal of 10,500, which averages out to 1,500 per day. Meticulous is focused on weekly amounts, so if we go above or below 1,500 any given day, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that we're consistent over time. Now, we're going to go over to the Ingredients tab and start to add in our different ingredients. We can start with our milk and our cereal for our breakfast meal, and then we're going to go ahead and add in our different salad kits. From there, we can add in those extra little bit of desserts, and that will comprise our backbone for week 1. Finally, we're going to head over to the Recipes tab and start to add in the compilations of those ingredients. Our cereal being 65 grams of our cereal and a cup of whole milk, the salad kits being the total amount of salad in those kits, making note of their serving sizes as listed on the nutrition facts label on the item. And in this case, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to add each of those dessert items separately since I'm not going to be eating them as sets. And over on the fitness side, we're going to keep track of 2 muscles. Our first muscle is steps. We're going to aim for 10,000 steps a day or 70,000 steps in a week. I'm not going to be using any kind of a step counter. I'm just going to use the heuristic of knowing that I walk about 10,000 steps in an hour and a half. Our second muscle I'll just call full body. I'm going to aim for doing 1 full body workout a week, not with the particular aim of hypertrophy or strength growth, as much as what I'll just refer to as conditioning. My goal with this muscle is to try and ensure that as much of my weight loss is coming from fat and not from muscle. And that's it. From there, everything else we can take care of in the planner. We can add each of the recipes we just created as meals to the planner. The cereal is simple because we're just going to have the same thing for breakfast every day. And then the salad kits, we can be a little bit more creative and decide which particular salad we want to eat on a given day. And lastly, we can sprinkle in some desserts so that it's not all too boring. I'll go ahead and add in a regular Starbucks order, which for me is a grande green tea frappuccino and a tomato mozzarella panini. And if I'm looking for a lower calorie option, I might go for the egg bites. And then we come to our especially difficult estimate for the week, Thanksgiving. For the sake of the diet, I'm going to avoid complicated meals like this as much as I can, but this is a special occasion, and ultimately Meticulous is up to the task. I'm going to be estimating each of the different components of this meal as follows: 150 calories for the turkey, 300 for the sweet potatoes, and 250 for the mashed potatoes, due to the glorious amount of butter contained within, 100 calories for the gravy, 200 calories for the green bean casserole with the mushroom sauce and crispy onions on top, 100 calories for the biscuit with the cranberry relish on top, and 200 calories for the bit of dessert that isn't pictured here. That brings us to a grand total of 1,300. And finally, since we're quite a bit under our weekly goal, I'm going to go ahead and reward myself this final Sunday with a glorious outing at Tijuana Flats for a total of 1,815 calories. That might seem like a lot, but keep in mind that's 1 chimichanga, a small side of queso, and a soda. And then our fitness planning is going to be very simple. Every day we're going to walk for an hour and a half. And then I'm going to put my full body workout on Friday.
I'm doing this with the knowledge that Thursday is going to be a high-calorie day, and I find that at least for me, I have the best performance and exercise when I make sure that I eat an ample amount the day before. So, let's see how we did at the end of week 1. 193.8 pounds. Alright, at least the number has gone down, but let's take a look at the details. You can see 2 major upswings, which you might think were the result of the 2 high-calorie meals. But actually, my weight went down after Thanksgiving. It's for this reason that I don't put too much stock into any one individual measurement, and instead focus on the overall trend. It seems to me that my weight is trending in the correct direction, just maybe not at the rate I'm looking for. So let's see what we can do for week 2.
And just like that, we have our meal backbone for week 2 set up. For breakfast, we're going to be doing some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I like to do it with some half banana slices and a glass of milk. Perfect. And if we want a little bit of variety there, we can toast it some days, not toast it other days, so it's not just the same thing all the time. For lunch, we're just doing a little bit of a pick-me-up, not a full-out meal. We're going to have either a protein bar or a jar of this tomato basil soup. These are 180 calories, these are 230, so not huge, just a little something to keep you going till dinner. And then dinner, we've got ourselves a little bit of variety picked out, right? We've got some chicken cutlets and salmon fillets that we're going to be doing with rice and vegetables with a choice of either broccoletti or French beans. Good stuff. Stir fry that up with some onions, of course. And I just so happen to find what might be the best sauce in the entire universe, Japanese barbecue sauce. I don't know if this is like the good stuff. I haven't had this before, but yakiniku sauce is the best sauce ever invented by humankind, so we might be in for a treat. As something a little bit extra creative, I got myself some pickles and some ranch and buffalo to mix up a little bit of a sauce, and I'm thinking about trying to air fry myself some pickles. Pickles are one of those god foods. You don't think about pickles that much, but it's like mustard. They cost 0 calories, so you can have these all day and you're fine. So with week 1, I'm pretty happy with the direction that we're going. We've got the right trajectory, just maybe not the right pace. And so for week 2, I'm trying to up my protein intake and I'm trying to lower my sugar. Not so much that I feel the need to make any drastic changes to my muscles or macros just yet, so I'm not going to worry about counting any of that, but I do have hope that we're going to be able to make a little bit more of a dent this week than week 1. So all right, let's see how it goes.
And now we can do a quick check-in with Meticulous to see how our plan for the week stacks up. I've got one extra meal to account for with a dinner out at Chick-fil-A, but thankfully chain restaurants have their nutrition facts readily accessible and we can easily add it in. We're brought up to a total of 8,395 calories, which is a little bit lower than last week and about as low as I would consider going. Do note, I am going to start spacing out my hour and a half of walking into half-hour intervals throughout my day for convenience. Now let's see how we've done in our second week of Meticulous. 191.4 pounds. Once again, we've gone down, which is cause for celebration. It is a couple pounds short of our goal, so let's go ahead and take a look at the details to see what we can find out. We seem to have hit an inevitable weight loss plateau. Some might see this data and interpret it as cause for alarm, but with the help of Meticulous, I can be very confident in my caloric deficit. Whether a plateau like this is caused by some kind of hormonal transition as your body shifts into ketosis, or whether it is the result of regular weight fluctuations mathing out such that the valley and crest of the curve even out for a few days, I couldn't say. What I can say is that I'm going to trust in the power of Meticulous and move forward for now, perhaps making some slight optimizations in my food choices for week 3.
Oh hi, didn't see you there. We have officially made it past the halfway point. We are now in week 3. Much like the previous week, we're starting out with our backbone of a simple chili for dinner using the ingredients that you just saw, namely ground beef, tomatoes, chili beans, bacon, cheese, and of course spices, and an onion. I forgot to record the onion. And then working our way backwards in the day, for lunch we're going to again do something a little bit lighter, which is either going to be a bag of this chopped salad kit like we had before. We're going to be having this 4 days out of the week. Or a can of this Campbell's Chunky. I got a few different kinds and we'll be having this 3 days out of the week. Salads again are somewhere between the 400 to 500 range, and these are somewhere between the 300 to 400 range. It's okay, just minor dents, minor dents. And then for breakfast, we're going to be making ourselves some protein smoothies using a cup of milk, half of a banana, 1 tablespoon of peanut butter powder, and 1 scoop of chocolate whey protein. Just gonna set these down this time. And there you have it, my meal plan for the week. I have high hopes that we're going to be able to beat that weight loss plateau, so long as I stay consistent, minimal amounts of carbs, minimal amounts of sugar. The only thing I am considering is I may carb load an extra meal of pasta the day before I do my workout this week. I haven't decided. That depends on how much progress I'm making in the context of beating that plateau. So without any further ado, let's get cooking.
I wanted to take a brief intermission to talk about my weekly full-body workouts. I have exactly 2 tools at my disposal, a mat and a pair of 25-pound dumbbells. I'll do around 6 or 7 exercises each session, including bicep curls, shoulder shrugs, overhead press, rows, skull crushers, push-ups, sit-ups, goblet squats, and weighted calf raises. It can take me somewhere between a half hour and 45 minutes. I expect I take longer rests between sets than the average, but considering my lack of experience in this new body, I appreciate taking a moment to assess the effect the previous set has had and prepare myself for the next. Again, my goal isn't explicitly hypertrophy or strength gain, which may be difficult or impossible at my current caloric deficit. I'm just trying to stimulate the muscle tissue to signal to my body not to consume them in my quest for weight loss. Now we can go ahead and check in with Meticulous. As you can see, we are comfortably below our goal of 10,500 calories for the week, and you can see I've went ahead and added in a single plate of pasta on Friday. I was feeling a little bit low energy, and I'm glad that I did because I felt great for the rest of the weekend. And now for the moment of truth. Let's see how we did. 188.8 pounds. We seem to have broken through our previous plateau only to get stuck on another. In normal, healthy weight loss conditions, I would say that's perfectly acceptable. We've been at a pace of about 2 pounds per week, only just a little bit shy of our goal of 2.5 pounds per week. In order to ramp up the intensity for our final week, I'm thinking of adding an extra 3,000 steps or 30 minutes of walking to my routine.
And so it all comes down to this, the final week. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got ourselves planned. Incredible, right? For breakfast, what we're going to be doing is Greek yogurt with an assortment of fruit. We've got strawberries, golden kiwis, Jeff Niff would be proud, and pineapples. And then for lunch, we've got ourselves two options. One, a good old-fashioned classic tuna with mayo and relish, or some ground turkey sloppy joes with a little bit of corn and black beans. And then for dinner, I'm going to be doing something that I haven't done for quite some time, but a French-style ratatouille. And no, there is not going to be any emoji jokes at this point in the video. Don't even think about it. I'm currently sitting 4.2 pounds away from my goal of 10 pounds, which is quite some ways to go, and we might have to make a little bit of adjustments this week. But we've made some pretty incredible progress so far, and we're just going to do the best that we can. So let's get cooking.
Alright, now that we've made it through our final week, we can go ahead and check our weight, and now we're just a cool 230... Wait, what?
No! How can this be?
I didn't think it would come to this, but there's only one thing left to do.
Now that I've donated my gorgeous locks to charity, we're going to go ahead and check our weight one more time. 184.4 pounds. Well within our 10 pounds in a month goal. We've done it, friends.
And so we've done it. We've lost 10 pounds in 1 month. I have to say I'm pretty happy with my results. But I do have a couple of caveats that I want to make. Primarily, this is not a diet that I would consider to be sustainable or even healthy. I admit I was making a bit of a stunt by losing 10 pounds in 1 month, which is more aggressive than what I would recommend, and the calorie deficit that I created is also more aggressive than what I would recommend. But I set myself this unreasonable goal for a very specific reason. The number one excuse that I hear most people making when talking about weight loss is that it's too difficult, or that they can't do it, or that they have tried and failed. And let this video serve as a lesson that in fact weight loss is incredibly easy. You do not need to lose 10 pounds in a month. You don't need to set yourself as extreme of a calorie goal as I have. You don't need to follow my meal plan exactly. You just need to understand that losing weight is simple. All I've done here is track calories. I've made some minor optimizations to try and reduce sugar, and lesser extent carbohydrates, and maximize protein. You don't need to follow my meal plan exactly, but you can use the foods that I've shown as an example of what kinds of foods you might want to introduce into your diet. Every little bit can make a positive impact. Replace a donut with a salad, fried potatoes with a protein shake. Each of those decisions that you make to put yourself a little bit closer to achieving a caloric deficit is a step in the right direction. If you're interested in checking out Meticulous for yourself, the link is in the description, and I hope you get the value out of it that I have. Thank you so much for sticking around this entire video through to the end. Until next time, this is Caxt signing off. Okay, good enough. Let's go ahead and stop the video.